Welcome to the Sci-Fi Center, the place to be, where comic books and wrestling collide magically. Movies, TV shows, and pop culture we share. Get ready to rock, we're here to take you there. From superheroes to aliens in outer space, we've got the latest news and reviews in our embrace. Turn on your screen, let the neon lights glow. We'll take you back to the 80s. Let's rock and roll. Sci-Fi Center, where the legends come alive. Get ready to geek out, let your imagination thrive. We're diving into the past with a touch of modern flair. Sci-Fi Center, the ultimate pop culture lair.
The clock has struck midnight and you are on the Express. How is everybody doing? Woo, finally got something cool to talk about. I love open topic and question and answer, but every now and then I really, in fact, more so than not, I really like having something to talk about. And I have two things that I really am happy to talk about today. Obviously, one of them is the Fantastic Four trailer, the final one, apparently, that dropped this morning. And I thought it was amazing. I'm biased. I was already sold on the movie, but I don't know how anybody who could be, if you were on the fence right now and this trailer didn't push you over, I don't know if anything will. So I enjoyed that trailer. We're going to go through it. Here's one thing I am going to semi-ban, like a 75% ban, when we are going over the Fantastic Four trailer. The 2005 movie, and the Rise of the Silver Surfer movie, the 2015 movie, the Roger Corman movie. None of that shit is on my thumbnail. We are talking about the Fantastic Four that gets released on July 27th, the one I have been waiting for since they had founded this whole MCU thing. Please don't waste our oxygen on those other movies. None of those movies matter to this one. So we're going to watch that trailer, and the other thumbnail part you can see in there is something that I had heard about that Deni was in contention for, but was pleasantly surprised today when it was officially announced that Denis Villeneuve will be directing the very next Bond movie. Some people like him, some people don't like him, some people are in the middle. Fuck it. I'm all for it. I was already a James Bond fan. But if you watch this show any length of time, you understand the religion that is Blade Runner for me and how I feel about Blade Runner 2049. It is my favorite movie. It, along with the original, hover side by side in heaven as my favorite movie of all time. And he did the impossible with that movie. He took a much beloved franchise, and making a sequel to something like that is not easy. Independence Day Resurgence sucked. So it's not easy for him to do what he did with those expectations and surpass them. This is the right guy for any movie. I was going to go see the next James Bond movie no matter what because I see them all. I'm definitely going to go see this next one. So before we get into trailer, bring in
So
my
anyway,
resident
William, I
troublemaker,
have to confess.
Brad.
Well, I have to confess, I think I've been too hard on the 2005 Fantastic Four and Silver Surfer and the.
It's pretty sad when the person you're
teed me
staying
up
with
for
is
that,
so
man.
predictable that I literally had my
You teed me
cursor
up, dude.
over the thing. I knew that was coming, and that's why you notice it came quickly. I didn't have to
You
reach
teed
for it.
me up, man. You teed me up.
All right, we're gonna say hi to everybody, and then we're gonna go right. This trailer was awesome. This movie is.
I have actually not had the chance to watch the trailer yet, so this will be my first reaction.
Okay, cool. How you doing, Hal? What's going on, William? Are you going to going to watch that for tomorrow? Are you excited for it? Not really. Not because I don't like the movie. I just haven't had time to focus energy on it. I've seen the music videos. It has an awesome soundtrack. It looks like a blockbuster, and I will eventually go get to see it. But right now, there's just so much on my plate movie wise. We didn't get the promotion for that. I think that there was a promotion for it. It's just that the company that did it didn't figure I wanted seats for it because it wasn't science fiction, horror, or fantasy. But I'm like, you guys have sent rom-coms my way when you wanted to fill those. So I got a movie group for it. So, I mean, I won't be there, of course, but,
Yeah,
hey.
I'm actually getting kind of because I'm not like a big like I was gonna see I'm not like a big NASCAR or like a Formula One racing guy, but this actually is kind of like this has like the look of like seeing the trailer and like kind of looking into it a bit. This looks like okay, this might be like Top Gun and Maverick on wheels. It's the same director, so I'm actually kind of I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna see it this weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to pass on it for right now because I just don't have the time and my schedule going up from the point we're sitting now all the way to the end of July. It's just going to be wild. Yeah, got the vitamin water over here. I might grab it while the trailer's okay. You're just trying to troll me, but that's fine. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and ignore all that.
Deni working his way up the Hollywood ladder. Do movies are great visual and aesthetic, but I just couldn't get into them. Try as I might.
Yeah. Plus, he got screwed out of the Academy Award because of the writer's strike. Which is
well, I mean, when you talk about working, working his way up. I mean, do you think that is he still working his way up, or is he kind of already there?
He's already there. Already there. Yeah. Okay. Well, I might just time forth out because I can't. The nonsense is distracting me to the lower right.
Dude, you teed all of us up with this whole like, don't
no,
talk about
no. That wasn't a joke, guys. Seriously, I don't care tonight or this morning for the purposes of what we are about to watch here and break down. I don't want to hear about, well, I don't know if I want to see this because of that. I don't fucking care. I don't care. I'm not going to answer. I don't care. I don't care what you thought about the 24. I don't care. Maybe some other day I might care. Who knows? But right now, as we break down an awesome trailer for this movie that I've been waiting for a long time, I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time talking about any Fantastic Four movie that is not the one that is getting released later in late July. That's it. I'm just making it easy because I'm going to skip your comments. Don't want to hear it. All right. I'm going to steer the conversation away from it. And there's no reason for it tonight or this morning. There's just no reason for it. No reason for it. Stay on topic. I know it's hard, especially with Brad on our screen, but we're going to try, right? We're going to try real hard, right? We're not going to be the cat and the laser. All right, so last one. So, and then ignoring fourth is just going to help that.
Yeah, how's it going, Aaron? She said we had a little fun a minute ago on Twitter where she talking about how cold it is in Australia because they're in their winter months.
Yeah,
and I open the front door every day now. It's like it's just like. It's the surface of the sun. I'm sure Williams experienced the same thing in Vegas. But I got humidity with it too, so.
What's this R shit? What the fuck are you talking about? All right. Like I said, Steven Ortega, I'm not going to bring up some other time, guys. All right, so here we go. We are going, let me get this queued up. It fucking, StreamYard, come on, dude. What is so hard about keeping this? I want the one from Marvel Studios. No, this is not the one I want. Here, hold on. Rewind. I have other ones up here, but here we go. All right. This is the one. Hold on. Here we go. Present. Why? The stream are too many steps, guys. Too many steps to put a freaking video on the down.
Fantastic Four don't need no more. That's right. All right, here we go.
Oh, that was a
and like I said,
lame-
this is going to be my first reaction because I had a chance to see the trailer today, so this is my first reaction.
All right. 1, 2, or 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Famous around the world, please welcome the Fantastic Four. Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, Human Torch,
I love you, Johnny.
and the Thing.
Hey, what time is it? Say the thing.
That's not really something I say.
It's clobbering time.
That's just in the cartoon. Never late for Sunday dinner. Let's eat.
Hey, what time is it?
It's dinner time. Get inside.
I herald his beginning. I herald your end. I herald Galactus.
What is that? Get us out of here, Ben. Hold on! Are we safe?
I don't know. The clock is ticking. We are going to find a solution. We are going to make it right.
You don't want to just crush him.
I like that. The four of us will face the danger. We will protect you.
Family. It's about connecting to something bigger than yourself. We'll face it together. As a family.
What time is it, Ben?
No.
What time is it, Ben?
No, Johnny.
Say it!
I don't want to.
Say it!
Okay, I'm going to keep that up on the screen because we're going to roll back and watch some of it.
Looks very good.
First things,
A little bit more
when,
Galactus light than I thought this trailer would be.
I wanted to see his face, but I got the popcorn bucket, I guess. I don't know. So there are some things here that I really super enjoyed. One of them is the fact that this coming of Galactus is going to be a protracted storyline that doesn't just say, hey, we're having a barbecue and then there's a purple thing that comes down and we got to figure it out. This is something that's going to be, from a looming doom from pretty much probably near the first act all the way to the end of the movie. Because you see that when Silver Surfer comes down and makes that the original or the initial Herald announcement, that Sue's pregnant, and towards when you see later things that she's got the baby and the baby's an infant. So there's months, possibly either up to 8 or 9 months between the initial discovery when they're on that ship versus when they actually have to deal with Galactus. So it appears that he is in some type of stasis that you see when he's coming out of there. Hold on, let me get my cursor where I need it to be. So right there. So right there, this appears that they are on his ship. That his world ship, which awesome. I wish I saw more of that, but there's a clear shot of it. There's he's in his world ship and he's basically in either a dormant or a stasis situation, and then he starts to he starts to unlock, and it'll take him time. I'm gonna guess that there's amount of time that when he enters a system like this, that it's kind of like Alien, whatever. So he's at the end of his powers as far as so he's conserving his energy to that so that he's about to feed. Bam, he gets unlocked and everything else. The surfer signals lets him know this is a planet that can sustain life. That means it's one that you could eat. But they are on that ship. It kind of gave me an Alien Borg type of feeling. When the Borg first came around and Picard and them were on the Borg ship, and then they realized what the Borg were. So they're on Galactus's world ship, and it looks like it's huge. I mean, he's 28 feet tall, average 28 feet tall in these trailers. So he's in something much larger than him. And when you see the ship fly away to scale, it looks like it's a massive ship. Now, Galactus's world ship was so big in the comics, especially in the Fantastic Four 48, 49, it was so big that other planets revolved around it, which is kind of exaggerated because he moves the ship. So, it goes from one place to another. So the travel, what we is seeing it's either like I said, it's one of two things. It's either the multiverse or his universe collapsing and he sees the equation, or he's tracking this massive device that's getting there. So there's some time in between when they know something's upon them and when Galactus is actually rolling through Manhattan, or 1961 Manhattan is what it looks like it is. So but yeah, everything but his face. Everything but his face. I like the way she makes her entrance. That just robotic, non-feeling announcement. I herald your end, or I herald his beginning. I herald your end. I herald Galactus, which is kind of straight verbatim from the comics when you read some of the iterations of it. And the way she says it without any emotion. If you know anything about, depending on if you've read comics or depending on what you know about the Silver Surfer, when Galactus makes a herald, he takes away their conscience because the guilt of what they're doing on that scale would destroy them. So he alters them so that they are unfeeling. And the reason why Silver Surfer was able, back in the 60s, was able to turn is because I think it was Alicia Masters, the blind girl, talked him out of it, and he got his soul back. But generally, even after that, after Galactus trapped him on Earth for doing that, he took away those inhibitions and the weight of what the Silver Surfer had been responsible for crushed him. So I like the way that's consistent. The clobbering thing kind of thing is kind of cool. I can see when he finally says it in the theater, the crowd's going to erupt. It's cheesy as hell. Yes, this trailer is cheesy. They have all been cheesy, but the Fantastic Four is always meant to be along that way. Now they put it in the 1960s where they literally first appeared. I thought it. I was never on the fence about this movie, but if I was, there's no fence anymore. I'm not on the fence. There's no fence for me. This movie was good. So, what did you, for your first time seeing it? What did you think?
Yeah, I thought this was a pretty well done trailer. Showed a few things that I had seen, like you mentioned Fantastic Car before. Like I said, that looks very Independence Day right there. Like I said, we had they played a lot more Galactus light here. I think they really did kind of want to try to emphasize a little bit more like the 60s kind of setting here, which even though that was known, I think they wanted to put that a little bit more in the forefront with this trailer. But overall, hey guys, like as somebody who I've emphasized, I've never been a big Fantastic Four guy, but this has my interest. I'm looking forward to seeing it in about a month here.
That's him in his ship. That's him in his ship. That's him basically probably still dormant because it looks like they escaped the ship before he awakens. And then they're getting the hell out of there. I just want to get a view of that ship as they leave it. There it goes. So that's the ship. I don't know if that's supposed to be his world ship, but it's massive. You can see that to the left between those asteroids. That's the Fantastic Four ship, and that's a cool, pretty kick-ass design. I've never seen that design before when it comes to his ship, but that's I've tried to figure out how big it is because they're flying away from it, so they're not right up against it. But so this ship is probably what Reed has been tracking. and he's calculating how long it's going to take the ship to get there because it's not going at some like immense speed. So it's going, he's calculating, and that's with all the end of the world. I got a really cool the day the Earth stood still type of vibe from this, from back in when the Cold War, when we had these end of the world type scenarios because of the nuclear threat we face. Galactus represents that threat, even in the comics. When you read the comics, Galactus comes in at the end of the very first issue of his appearance. Everything else is like a build-up to Galactus. So it looks like they've stretched this out to about a year. So I was happy. Let's see what let's go with an answer. Fantastic Four. See, you're taking now being bond, being dull. Yeah, I should have put a star on this one. Hello, Larry. How you doing? Let's see. So Apocalypse Now 79 theatrical cut restoration tonight, and it's awesome and sold out. Martin Sheen actually sounded like Charlie Sheen and looks like Emilio Naval's nuts. Yeah, love the smell of napalm. That's actually, I don't think that's a Harold.
Harold?
Okay.
Harold?
Are we joking or okay?
Well, he's the buddy. He's the buddy of Kumar. Yeah, that's who he is.
I don't know how many more bad jokes I can take this time of night. Harold. I'm going to assume you're joking because you have to know that is. But for those of you who are, listen, there are going to be people. I get people all the time. I get people who walk into my store that don't know anything about this stuff. They have a distant understanding of it. So I'm going to not treat you like you're dumb. I'm going to treat you like you legitimately, not RJ because he knows. But if you're a brand new viewer and this movie is attracting you to the Fantastic Four, a herald is what Galactus uses to search out worlds. He finds people from other worlds and he transforms them, and he usually gives them some crazy powers like Silver Surfer, Fire Lord.
He gives them a fraction of the power cosmic.
Yeah, he gives them a fraction of the power cosmic, and they usually have special abilities indicative of the lives that they were living before in most cases. And he what that person does is that thing, an alien does, is goes throughout the cosmos and finds planets that can sustain Galactus. This basically helps Galactus so that he does not have to use. One of the things of what a Galactus is, even though he's immensely powerful, he's not wasteful. He's not wasteful. Galactus can actually, if he wanted to, grow to the size of Earth. That's a waste of energy. He doesn't do it. You generally see Galactus commonly as a 28-foot to 40-foot automation. And he's an abstract. So us humans will see him as a giant human wearing this big purple poobah hat. So yeah, that is what a herald is for those of you who are, that are just now coming into this Fantastic Four lore. So and if you are new and you don't know something about what we're talking about, ask. I'll answer it in regards to how, because it'll help your understanding of the movie. All right. Vanessa Kirby. Yep. Congratulations. She's about to have a kid. Yeah, she is. I think I saw her. Did I first see her in Hobbs and Shaw? I might have seen her before in something else.
Yeah, she was in Hobbs and Shaw. That was actually, I think, the first thing I remember seeing her in.
My expectations. I'm watching it with high expectations, and I see no reason. I have seen nothing that would tell me that this might be like this is an movie or something that I would need to worry about. I'm not worried about Fantastic Four at all personally, but then again, like I said, I've been waiting for this movie a little bit longer. Let's see. I herald for jeez. All right. I'm gonna make it easier on myself and just skip some shit.
Here's a good one from Aaron. What's the difference between the male and female Silver Surfer?
Okay, this is something we covered a couple of weeks ago, but it's a very important question. The male Silver Surfer is Norrin Radd. He first appears in The Coming of Galactus in Fantastic Four issues 48, 49, 50. He is from a planet called Zenla. Zenla, Galactus was about to devour the planet. Silver Surfer, Norrin Radd at the time, offered himself, sacrificed himself to be Galactus's herald if he would spare that planet. He did. He became Norrin Radd became Silver Surfer in an alternate universe covered in a comic book that we've covered called Earth X. Instead of Norrin Radd making a sacrifice, his wife Shali Ball. I never know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I've read it that way. It makes the request in the sacrifice, and Galactus turns her into Silver Surfer. So it's basically you have this married couple. The Silver Surfer that we all know, Norrin Radd, was the one that became the one that's been around for 56 years. But in Earth X, there was a lot of things that were switching out. Also in Earth X, that version of the Galactus that we see in Earth X is Franklin Richards. And I've been saying for a while that I think there's a connection to Franklin Richards in that Galactus. He may be one and the same. So we'll have to see. Like I said, I don't know, but it's just a guess. So there you go. I hope that answered your question there. I guess this confirms the time jump in the movie. Yeah. I actually have a comic at the store where Ben has that same beard. It looks kind of crazy because you're not used to seeing him. But yeah, there's a time jump. Obviously, they probably taken some time off because Sue's pregnant, can't really be the Fantastic Four, and then you have maternity and all that. And that kid, I'm not a good guess of little kids, but I'm guessing that kid is about 8-9 months old, maybe. Somebody in the chat who has kids, they could probably be a better judge of that. So I'm thinking of maybe between a 7 to 9 month time jump, and that's how long it takes, because time means nothing to Galactus in this respect. As long as he's not expending energy, he could stay in that state forever. But it looks like it takes him a while to get from one place to another, and it takes him a while to wake up and do what he needs to do. And then it looks like I'm not sure here, but it looks like there's a part here where I don't know if he's setting up the device that he uses to drain the planets like he does in because when you see the thing running and hitting those pillars like that, and you see that little stretchy part where the building is falling and Reed Richards is stretching around it, and you see Galactus' foot behind him. I think what they're trying to do is they like they did in the comic, he sets his device, his feeding device thing on like buildings. He sets it up on buildings, so it looks like they're knocking over the buildings that he set the device on in order to delay him, which is exactly what they did. I'm trying to find that thing where it shows it shooting up into there. Now, see, there's a kid. So I'm guessing this kid is I don't know. I'm guessing 7-8 months, Brad. I mean, you got nephews, don't you?
Yeah, probably about 7-8 months.
Okay, that Fantastic Four. I need that popcorn. There's a Fantastic Four popcorn bucket I need to have.
You could probably make a popcorn bucket just out of the thing.
Yeah, there's so much.
Give him a popcorn bucket.
Yeah, there's a head. I think there's his head, right? They have the one for his head. But I'm trying to find where the
focus seems to be on the Galactus one.
Oh yeah, because it's $80, and like I said, that's mine, buddy. So all this right here. So this is them coming back from the ship, and this is probably giving the public an assessment of how long it's going to take for him to come out of whatever coma or whatever phases that he's in.
And this is so. Because I'm not fully. So is this movie? Is it or is it not an origin story?
No origin story. They are the Fantastic Four when you first see them. In fact, it probably opens up with that scene.
It just has like opens up with that, and then time jump to them like being the Fantastic Four like 5 years later.
Yeah, I don't know what the exact time from when they've become the Fantastic Four. They may show how they became it, like in one of these news things that they have, because it's set up like a news documentary at the beginning of it. So you might see, like a little snippet of them getting infected, not infected, but irradiated, which should have killed them all. But hey, but I don't think their origin is going to be an actual part of the actual story that like a Man of Steel or something like that. Hold on, I'm looking for that. I'm looking for that thing where it's. Look at that city. That city looks beautiful. And yeah, you see these press conferences. It's almost like a hurricane, like a force of nature is coming, and these are the Earth's only protectors. There you go. This right here. So I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is.
I mean,
I thought it might. Go ahead.
It looks like some kind of energy or dimensional portal or something that established. I mean, it's the size of the Eiffel Tower, so it's got to be important.
Yeah, and he would be roughly around. I don't know where he would be as far as that, as far as size comparison. If that's something, and you see, okay, in the left here, you see another one.
Well,
So you know what these might be. He might have multiple things that he's placed around the world.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Well, I mean,
so,
are you talking about Galactus or Reed?
Yeah, no, Galactus. So Galactus is part of his.
He can alter his size.
Well, but these things right here, and this is just me guessing, they might be multiple siphons that he has to set up in order to make the process work. I don't know. I've never seen anything like that. But yeah,
because that one in the back, that's probably like about like 30 miles away or something.
Yeah, he might have these things set up to gather energy. That trailer gave me Power Rangers vibes. I love. Okay, I didn't get those vibes, Aaron, but that's interesting.
Yeah. Where's Franklin with the Franklin Richards popcorn bucket? I think it would be cool to see baby stores selling Fantastic Four merch. I have Fantastic Four baby onesies. Yeah, I could see that. I think you might be on something there, Aaron.
I did have to focus on him a little bit more, but I could.
I agree. Well, I don't know if I'd say it needed more Galactus, but I was surprised at how Galactus light it was, because with how much Galactus they've shown already in the marketing.
I think it was fine. I don't think this trailer needed more Galactus. I could have done better with seeing his face, but I didn't. This trailer didn't need Galactus. I didn't need it because the most important thing is they give you a timeline of the coming of Galactus. The comic that features Galactus for the very first time doesn't have him in it until literally the final page of the story. So when you're talking about Galactus's first initial presence, you don't need him all over the trailer. You needed him exactly as much as they gave you, because it's not just about this big purple thing. It's about the end of the world scenario that the Fantastic Four are having to address. The story is not as much about Galactus as it is about this apocalyptic scenario that they're in. So I would hold on. I would say that they showed just enough Galactus, but once again, if the last one would have had him raising his head and his eyes started to glow, I would have been happy with that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was fun.
Superman has a dog and Fantastic Four has the baby.
Yeah, but not everybody loves babies. There's some people that absolutely hate kids. I don't know too many people that hate dogs. So it's not as
And Williams Fly points out it's Morbin time. All right, I didn't know it was, but it is. Let's see. Snuff says, "Yeah, I want to see more Galactus fulfillment until the releases." Well, again,
you're not going to get any.
Again, like I said, I don't know if I'd say I needed more Galactus. With how much of a presence he's had in the prior trailers and with the popcorn bucket and all that, they held back on him in this trailer a lot more than I thought they were going to.
Yeah, and like I said, would it have made it a better trailer? Yeah, but I don't think I don't think seeing him at this point is, you get the sense of dread that's happening, and you start off with this Art Deco stuff and all the happiness and celebrity thing, and all of a sudden they're faced with that dread, and you see that it's a buildup. They did a good job in this trailer letting you know that it's not an instantaneous moment. He's coming, he's coming, and you're doing, as Earth's only heroes, you're having to figure out how you're going to deal with this guy before he gets there, and then he finally gets there. So the story is about that dread. The story is about, just like the comic book. Like I said, Fantastic Four, Galactus is not even he's not even on the cover. Galactus is not even on the cover of his first appearance. So I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you guys. I don't think you needed any more of Galactus than you saw here, because he's there. And it's not just a one figure. It's about the sense of global and worldwide dread and what the Fantastic Four means to that world. So I thought they did a good job there. All right, I'm gonna find out. I'm skipping all the 28 dumb shit later jokes. Sorry. If you're gonna make a joke, at least make it include a movie that I'm gonna go see. Because he grows a beard. He can grow a beard. He grows a beard in the comics.
So you can still grow a beard with his
Yeah.
his rock formation.
Yeah, it's the same as him growing skin cells and hair.
So what does he? I'm not the Fantastic Four expert comics wise, so well, I mean, so why does he like actively shave his head?
I'm assuming he's going to do it with a laser like he does there, but I'm just assuming. So Galactus world ship would be the size of huge ships, and Galactus world ship is bigger than all of those because remember the world ship and the main mothership,
It's a quarter the size of the moon.
Yeah, it was able to hide behind the moon. Galactus's world ship, according to the comics, which is like I said, we're talking about early '60s hyperbole, was much larger than that. The moon would revolve around it. Or if Galactus's world ship got close enough to a system, it had such a gravitational pull that it would change the gravitational pull of those planets. That's another thing. We don't know how far out the Fantastic Four have intercepted him too, because he could, he doesn't have to be in Earth solar system. That scene where we're seeing him wake up doesn't need to be in Earth solar system. He could be way out because we don't know how fast that their ship can travel because with that we haven't been given that information. Also, there could be something that Reed Richards does to that ship to slow it down. He could find the propulsion system and he could damage it to the point where that might slow him down. I don't know. I'm just guessing at that point, but yeah. Slipknot fan, I'm not bringing that up. Jesus. Like I said, I'm assuming he uses some type of molecular laser that Reed invented. Yeah, that's only in the cartoon, and I like the fact that they throw in that there's a resistance to clobbering time because they're building that up to the moment to where thing probably when he breaks out and yells it,
it's clobbering time.
Yeah, the crowd is gonna go mad over that. I'm gonna be throwing my pop.
And they did. I mean, that is kind of what they did in Fantastic when you think about it. I mean, they did save that one-liner for the very end. I'm not saying they did it well, but they did save it.
Let's see. Okay, guys, why are we talking about the things? Just stop it. Stop it. Johnny and Ben look like to be the best parts of it. Well, okay, be careful, guys, when we say stuff like that. A trailer always does that to you. That's what trailers do. I mean, they're probably the most compelling and exciting ones. I mean, depending on how you feel about Ben Grimm's journey from being an outcast and being accepted like he is there, Johnny Storm. We're only seeing a glimpse of it. I got a feeling Sue Storm is going to be the best part of this movie. I think she's going to be. She appears to be the glue that holds the family together with all their shortcomings. She appears to be, even though Reed Richards is considered the leader of the Fantastic Four, Stu Richards has always been the glue, and it looks like Vanessa Kirby is nailing that from what I can see. But like I said, we've had a total of 6 minutes of this movie to see, and all of that is shot out of context. So, all right, take a picture of this dog. Okay, hold on. All right. Yes, please like, subscribe, share. Here, do this. Here we go. Yeah, Terex. Yeah, I think it's Terex you want to talking about. Yeah, he's got a couple. He's got one that's made out of fire. I mean, he's got a couple of different ones. My Instagram is. I can tell you. Hold on. I just posted in the chat. It's in the description, but I'll put it in the chat too. All my social media is in the description. Oh, wait, here we go. All right, let's see if it gives it to me. Up, go profile. There we go. Here it is. But it's in this description for those of you who are watching it later on. Here we go, under. There you go. Yeah, he's all over it. Yeah. And I think he's going to play a pivotal role in this whole story, not just this story. I think it was obviously because of his power. For those of you guys don't know, one of you newcomers of Fantastic Four, Franklin Richards, it's an immensely powerful, godlike mutant that can create, control realities. He can do a lot of things. At the height of his powers, the Celestials even feared him. He actually, when the Celestials killed Galactus, and one of these Fantastic Four stories, I forgot exactly which one, he kills the Celestials, or he kills some of them. He resurrects Galactus and makes Galactus his herald. That's how powerful Franklin Richards is. Okay, so the original appearance of Galactus, when he was defeated when the Fantastic Four went to his world ship and got the only device that he feared, which is the Ultimate Nullifier. The Ultimate Nullifier can wipe any being out of existence. I mean, they never existed type of situation. So he had that on his ship. And then Johnny Storm, while they're fighting Galactus, they're buying time. Johnny Storm is on. He goes to the Watcher. And by the way, I didn't see the Watcher in here, but we've seen the Watcher in Guardians of the Galaxy. I wonder if it's going to be the same type of Watcher. I wonder if it's going to be Atu, but the Watcher lets them know that there's this device on Galactus' ship. If you get it, you can defeat him. And Reed Richards gets it and says, "I'll use this on you if you don't leave our world." And he says, "Okay, I'll leave the world." But he punishes the Silver Surfer by he puts a shield around the planet that makes it so that the Silver Surfer can never leave Earth. And that's how Silver Surfer joins the Defenders, and is for like years and years and years. He would stay there. The Silver Surfer would actually stay there until Silver Surfer #1 in 1987, to where he mentally was able to break through the shield, because it's a mental barrier that Galactus puts in there. So, but other ways, a lot of the ways, like with the John Byrne era, a lot of the ways that he's defeated is usually by other powerful beings that combine to take him on, or he is attacked or ganged up on when he is out of energy. Like if he hasn't eaten a planet for a while, his powers diminish. Silver Surfer has actually had to save him a couple of times. And as a matter of fact, the death of Silver Surfer #2, you're going to see a dead Galactus. So we'll find out another way how he dies. RJ, do you think Franklin will be aged up by the end of the movie? Like, instead of being a baby, he's a toddler? I don't know.
I think 8 to 12 is probably the most likely if he's aged up at all.
I don't think it's going to be this movie. He may be aged up, because remember, he aged him up and he's aged himself up to a grown man to help his parents out when he was part of Power Pack. So I don't know, RJ. That's a very good possibility.
See, he's also got. Oh, I saw this too. AMC said to expect 25 to 30 minutes of ads or trailers before a movie actually starts now. So if your movie is listed starting 5 p.m., it actually starts at 5:30 p.m. So dumb. But I'll be a sucker and sit there the whole time anyway. Well, I mean, I mean, it's like I look at that as like, you got like an extra 30-minute buffer to get there before the actual movie starts if you're running behind, which
Yeah, see, in doing this show, I mean, we watch all the trailers anyway. So a lot of times, hey, if you have a concession line, you can send somebody to the line. See, to me, the trailers don't bother me. I'm out to have a good time. I carved out this amount of time to see a movie, and I added on all the time, the travel time, the trailers. I added all that. I'm out for an experience. The trailers don't ruin a movie for me. A lot of times, that's my last time before I power down my phone. I'm taking pictures of screen. Usually, when I'm not going to an advanced screening, if I go to just the movies on my own, there's a game on or something like that I'm paying attention to. So that's I know it bothers the shit out of a lot of people. It doesn't bother me at all. So I'm indifferent. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, given the time jumps, we could have another time jump. This is the one thing I've learned about when it comes to trailers, is that, once again, like I said, I only have about 3 or 4 pieces of the puzzle. I can't guess the rest of the puzzle. I'm too stupid. So there's probably a lot of stuff in this movie that we're never going to see in the trailers until we see the movie. So he could be aged up to a grown ass man. We don't know. So he may stay a baby. He may age himself up. There may be an alternate version, a future version, like Galactus, like Galactus knows his future selves, and Franklin Richards, if he does become Galactus, there's a lot. He could be aged up by thousands of years, RJ. So you don't know yet. It's going to be cool. So is Johnny carrying the thing? Isn't the thing too heavy for him? Not when he's flying. When he's being propelled upwards like that, he can propel. He's going straight up. If you see in that scene, he's going straight up. So he's not hovering. He's going straight up, and the propulsion of his firepower is allowing for him to do that. Not yet. She's another one. She's Reed Richards. Reed's other kid. You know what? Who knows? Fuck it. You may see her in a future vision or something like that. Because this movie takes place in the past, and they may show these guys their possible futures. Franklin Richards might visit them in this movie as a grown ass man. He may be, like I sort of suspect, he may be that Galactus. And once he realizes that, because remember that one scene in the first trailer, he's looking at Baxter Building. He's looking through the window and he sees Franklin Richards and Herbie. So he knows the significance of Franklin Richards because he has the cosmic awareness. When she says, okay, Harold, when she says, I herald Galactus, are they going to reply? I'm not in those exact words, but I'm going to assume that that's going to be a really good question because the very first words out of her mouth is your world's been marked for death. I'm like, okay, that sucks. By the way, who's doing it? Real and Brad, no reveal, Mole Man. Yeah, that was for a cartoon, not cartoon. That was for a promo. But that's probably a Taco Bell promo. But I do think it may be in the movie. But that's yeah. Mole Man's probably going to be in there for about a minute, just like he is in the comic.
Yeah.
So I don't
Aaron's asking who is Valeria Richards.
Valeria Richards is their second child, their younger daughter that they have, and she's got powers too. She's her. I don't know if she's on par with her brother, but she's very powerful.
Rhea says, I really like seeing the Superman trailers in theaters. I think there's been so much focus on optimizing footage for mobile devices that may do them a disservice trying to sell an IMAX.
Rhea. Superman is not in the thumbnail. I don't care. I'm just kidding. Yeah, trailers. I mean, plus you just seeing that, especially if you're seeing like an IMAX, it's seeing it on our screen, seeing it on these phones. When I watch the trailer, a lot of the times I'll go to the center and I'll roll down our big screen and watch them and do the surround sound just to get that feeling. But yeah, I do agree with you that. But at the same time, you got to get it out there. You know what I mean? You actually have to, and sometimes it's not in best. When you're rolling like this and you're doing post productions, sometimes that's the way that they got to do it. IMAX to me, IMAX is big a deal for everybody. For me, it's not. But what about you guys? Is IMAX is the? I mean,
I enjoy it whenever I can partake in the experience. I did that actually. When they did the Avatar re-release, ahead of when the second one came out a few years ago, as I did, I actually saw it. I think I did that twice with the Avatar, and the reason I did that is because, man, it was my first time seeing Avatar in quite a few years. I tell people it's like I really forgot how stunning that movie is. It is the case like you really do need to see this, in IMAX if you can. So. Yeah, Avatar is the case. Like IMAX definitely elevates a lot. I would imagine it would be the case for the next Avatar we're getting this Christmas. When are we getting a trailer for that?
Don't care. I skipped those movies.
So the Sci-Fi Center doesn't care about the franchise with the blue aliens.
I saw the first one. I was all right with it, but I didn't fall in love with it. I don't hate it, but it's just like I'm not going to go out of my way to see Avatar. I'm just not big into it. I saw the first one, but see, when I saw the first one, IMAX was still a new thing, and you had to sit in these. Remember how when they first came out with it, you had to sit in these tiers, and had to wear these guys. It was weird then, but since then, I've just the story just never really connected with me. Don't hate it, but just don't love it either. Am I going to get the AMC exclusive Herbie? Probably so. But my prior, there's tiers to this. And the Herbie one's like I think $50. Somebody tell me, is it 50? Somebody, if you guys have a different price. But my priority is obviously Galactus, and I hope to get that while I'm in San Diego. Herbie. Yeah, this movie, like I said, there's like a lot of popcorn buckets for both Superman and Fantastic Four. How you doing, Anthony?
Well, I keep saying, and nobody, as far as like popcorn buckets, nobody seems to be taking me up on this. But I mean, it's like, again, for like the perfect popcorn bucket, you got this just built, it's just baked in you. It's like 30-year release, 7. That
would probably get people fired.
Just come on, 7. It's the perfect popcorn box for a commemorative release. Come on.
That would probably get
we can finally see what's in the box. It turns out it was popcorn the whole time. It's Brad Pitt. He lost his mind at the end, so he went to jail. It's like, no, he sent you popcorn. That's what it was.
See. I've been enjoying seeing trailers in the big time. I saw Naked Gun trailer in front of it. Wow. If I have to go to the bathroom and I gotta pee real bad before the movie starts, like drink a lot of water. The one good thing about the Naked Gun trailer is that gives me time to go do it. Because while that trailer is going, I can go take a whiz and get back because I have no desire whatsoever to see that movie. Congrats to Liam Neeson for getting his comedy, because I know he's always wanted to do some comedy. I don't have any use for the original Naked Gun, so I damn sure don't have any use for this one. But you guys have fun with it. And 28 years later, I might get around to 28 years later. I know the plot and everything around it, but I'm just, like I said, even years and 2 decades after the release of the original, I'm all zombied out. You notice we don't do a lot of zombie movies. When we do our watch alongs, we do ones that are specifically tied, like we did Army of the Dead, those, Night of the Living Dead. But when it comes to like zombie movies, I could go another 20 years without ever seeing another one, to be honest with you. How you doing, Game City Game Saver?
Yeah, see, Daniel agrees with me. Brad's a pretty good one. Yes, like what's in the box? We've been waiting 30 years to see what's in the box. It's finally time to show us what's in the box. It's the perfect way to do it. It's like a 7 commemorative re-release box popcorn bucket. Come on. Goes that saying. I should write an article on it, shouldn't I?
Yeah, why not? King Slater, I have not seen you here. Thank you. We appreciate your presence here. Thank you for tuning in.
Nice to meet you, sir. I think this is the first time I've seen you in the chat.
Fourth got me thinking, was it? No. Once again, like I said, I don't think so. Like I said, I got to retract. I don't think so, but anything's possible when it comes to it could be. I mean, that like I told him last night, that makes as much sense as anything else. We don't have enough information to say absolutely that cannot be him. There are odds to these things, obviously, but we've only seen trailers, and it's really tough. Can't wait for Avatar. Listen, you guys have fun with those blue people, those Smurfs.
You're not Smurfs. They're the Navi.
Whatever.
They're 15-foot tall aliens. They're badass.
I'm sure. William, did you see the Las Vegas Bears experimenting showing movies, and soon they're going to rematch? Yes, and they got the giant feet under the spear. It's hilarious for that special thing that they're doing. I got a cramp during Yoda's Force Ghost reveal in Rise of Skywalker. Okay. Walking Dead. Just there was a lot of zombie movies that came out. All the remakes. It's just, I just lost. They weren't, like I said, I'm not saying these movies are bad or they suck or anything. This is the opinions I've given you guys about these movies, Naked Gun, all these things are my opinion. I am not trying to change your mind and convert you into me. Don't think about that. But it's just like I just lost touch with the genre. I don't know if there's anything that could ever bring me back to sitting down in zombie movies, but I'm just not into them. And I almost got there with vampire movies too. And then came 30 Days a Night. And then I'm like, oh, okay. Their sequels weren't that good, but yeah. I saw Man of Steel in XD screens in El Paso in 2013. It was incredible. Also saw a dude trying to make his way back to his seat, spill all the popcorn on some poor woman. Oh, I see that all the time. Especially in the ones where everything reclines and everybody can get their leg out there. I've had people legit fall into me because they're trying hard. And especially if it's like a really dark scene, you can't see and I'm pushing my feet and I see him coming. And I try to, they're going to make it, they're going to make it. And then you feel it. I've had full soda, full popcorn on me. The person apologized. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? They apologized. They offered to buy, they knocked over my food. I had nachos and a pretzel. They bought my nachos. They bought my pretzel for me again. And my shirt was one of these. So it was, I watched it. So it happens. But yeah, I've been in theaters because people wait so long to get to the concession stand, man. That's why I like to get my shit done while there's light. I don't know how to do that because I got big feet. I got size 13.5 feet. So can you imagine me clod hopping through those aisles? It's all messed up. I went to go see. I remember going to see Pacific Rim at midnight showing at Cinemark.
RJ, I got a funny story for you with that too. It was like because I went and saw Pacific when it came out. My first night seeing it, I really enjoyed it. But I had one hell of a migraine that night, and I don't get headaches very often. But that I remember that one distinctly. It's like and that, of course, not seeing something like Pacific Rim. It's like it's kind of amazing. I enjoyed it as much as I did when I'm like battling a migraine that night, which again I get those very, 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 very rare seldom. But this one, when it rains, it pours, I guess. But
I think I did
enjoyed
this
it nonetheless.
I think I did this for Top Gun Maverick. Is this the one where the seats are shaking? And they have I did not enjoy that. I went to a Top Gun showing where they're doing all this shit and you're doing this. I'm like, oh, okay. We will never do this again. I saw Top Gun Maverick twice. I saw it pre-screening and I saw it again with a buddy that wanted to see it. All right, so let's anything more on this trailer? I thought this trailer was great.
Yeah, I think we did program there.
This trailer was great. Let's watch it one more time in its completion, and then we'll go into 007.
Around the world, please welcome the Fantastic Four. Mr. Fantastic. Invisible Woman. Human Torch.
I love you, Johnny!
And the Thing.
Hey, what time is it? Say the thing.
That's not really something I say.
It's clobbering time.
That's just in the cartoon. Never late for Sunday dinner. Let's eat.
Hey, what time is it?
It's dinner time. Get inside.
I herald his beginning. I herald your end. I herald Galactus.
What is that? Get us out of here, Ben! Hold on! Are we safe?
I don't know. The clock is ticking. We are going to find a solution. We are going to make it right.
You don't want to just crush him?
I like that. The four of us will face the danger. We will protect you.
Family. It's about connecting to something bigger than yourself. We'll face it together. As a family.
What time is it, Ben?
No.
What time is it, Ben?
No, Johnny.
Say it!
I don't want to.
Say it!
All right, there you have it. I can't wait for this movie. I cannot wait to be in the 75-degree weather of San Diego, California, in the middle of a packed theater with a giant Galactus head in my lap, fanboying over this movie.
And like Fast and Furious, it's all about family. And Fantastic Four is the more.
This is like your bad jokes are like mushrooms. They're just like growing everywhere. It's just not cool.
Well,
Anyway.
it's such quantity, that obviously means they're fantastic jokes. Fantastic. There. But yes, they're both about family, and yet Fantastic Four is definitely the more scientifically accurate of the two.
Oh, yeah. That's true. So, yeah, like I said, this is my most anticipated movie of the year. It's not even close. It's this movie for me, and then everything else is a bonus. If they suck, they suck. If they're good, they're good. You know, Fantastic Four is the barometer which I will measure 2025. That and Sinners. That's really the class so far. And I've seen Sinners, so I can tell you how much I think. My anticipation for this movie quadruples Sinners. So can't wait. All right, so let me bring up. I'm just gonna read the article. 007. All right, let's see. Amazon. We're going to go after Amazon because it's their property now. All right, here we go. Share screen. All right, Amazon MGM Studios sets Denis Villeneuve. I hope, Denny, if you're watching the show, by the way, if you are watching the show, that's really cod. Say something in the chat. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right because I've heard it pronounced 10 different times a day, and I always say Villeneuve. I hope I'm saying that right. As director of the next James Bond film, MGM Studios today announced that Denis Villeneuve will direct the next James Bond film. Additionally, Tanya Lapointe will serve as executive producer. As previously announced, Amy Pascal and David Hyman will serve as producer. Oh, that should be fun. Well, it's not Spider-Man, so she can't jam it up. Villeneuve commented, some of my earliest movie-going memories are connected to 007. I grew up watching James Bond films with my father ever since Dr. No with Sean Connery. I'm a diehard Bond fan. To me, this is sacred territory. I intend to honor the tradition and open the path for many missions to come. This is a massive responsibility, but also incredibly exciting for me and a huge honor. Amy, David, and I are absolutely thrilled to bring him back to the screen. Thank you, Amazon MGM Studios, for the trust. Mike Hopkins, head of Prime Video and MGM Studios, commented, we are honored that Denny has agreed to direct James Bond's next chapter. He is a cinematic master. Yeah, you damn right. Whose filmography speaks for itself from Blade Runner 2049, and we can stop there. But he's got some damn good movies besides that. But we could stop at Blade Runner 2049. And all you haters in the chat, hey, listen, just go take a leap. To Arrival, Academy Award nominated, to the Dune films, which are both epic. He has delivered compelling worlds, dynamic visuals, complex characters, and most importantly, the immersive storytelling that global audiences yearn to experience in theaters. James Bond is in the hands of one of today's greatest filmmakers, and we cannot wait to get started on 007's next adventure. Like I said, I was already on a high from this trailer. I was already on like, you know what, just get me to this movie. I cannot wait. And then I get, this, somebody tagged me in this. Finally, somebody tagged me in some stuff that I can actually open up and actually like, hey, that's cool. Because as soon as I saw Denis Villeneuve 007, because you could only see like part of it, I'm like, yes, this is great. This is almost as good as I felt when before the Lanterns, the director and showrunners and all those were announced, and we were talking about the people that I would want on there, and David Lindelof was like literally the only person I had on my list, and then like 3 months later they name him, and that's how I feel about this. More important so with Green Lantern because of the type of story that he's able to tell, but this is going to be something new and different for Denny. He this is showing that this guy is willing to take on diverse types of movies, and I'd rather him stick to sci-fi epics. But James Bond, that's a world unto itself. So I'm interested to see how he's going to approach it. Is this going to be signature Denny, or is he going to evolve in a different direction? I cannot wait to see what he has in store. What do you think about this, Brad? This news.
Well, I think well, to begin with, I mean, taking on Bond, I mean, the biggest thing that jumps out to me with that, I mean, obviously, the number one thing is that with James Bond's skill set, and that means we're actually going to see Denny do some kung fu. So that's awesome.
They like what 25% of Bond movies have martial arts in them.
Well, after Daniel Craig, it's like no, it's like once he sets the
Well,
template.
that's the whole point. Daniel Craig did not set the template; he set one for him. Now we're in a new era. I expect something completely different.
Yeah, but it's kind of like going back on Batman, like after the warehouse. It's like some things like no, you just gotta raise that standard. So
no, you don't. James Bond is not Batman.
No, I have total faith Denny will meet that. But other than that, now one thing I did want to ask also with
you and this kung fu obsession is not healthy for the
no,
channel.
he's gonna do some awesome fight scenes.
He might do fight scenes, but they don't have to be kung fu.
Roger
Moore did not do kung fu.
Yeah, look how that turned
Connery
out.
did not do kung fu. They turned out great. I mean, before they got old, before they kept rolling them out there at the age of 90. That's not something.
If you want to look back,
Pierce Brosnan did not do kung fu.
If you want to look back on the Connery and Moore era Bond movies, if there's one thing about them that has aged the poorest, the fight scenes are absolutely laughable. So I'll leave it at that.
But yeah, I could see some martial arts, but I don't think it's gonna be like fucking like the Jet Li's, corner to corner. You may see some.
Well, actually, kind of relate. Well, maybe not kind of related, but there is. Do you think this is because there has been like some chatter out there that like why is the guy's name escaping me? The guy who's Jon Stewart in the Lantern Show.
What's the guy's name?
Yeah,
it's escaping me too right now.
Yeah, there was some talk about he might be like under some consideration for it. So do you think?
Yeah, I heard that, and I would welcome that. I know there's going to be a shitstorm, but you know what? And to me, what would make that special not only because be a person of color, but it was established that James Bond is not one particular person at any given time. 007 is a designation, and James Bond is an alias.
Exactly. Yeah, because there's that fan theory that it's not just the 007 name; it's the James Bond name that comes with it. That each individual, that Connery and Moore and Brosnan, it's like they're not all the same Bond.
Yeah, their name is like Bart Jones or something. They give a Sam Jones or something, and then they become James Bond because it just sounds too cool. People just generally aren't born that way. But then when they call him Commander Bond because he's a naval commander.
But so do you think this is does this suggest they're close to choosing the new Bond at all?
No, because he's gonna be MGM and Amazon are gonna probably ride side by side with Denny because they'll probably want to let him get a script because it'd be hard to cast a James Bond until we see what kind of James Bond Denny makes. So you don't want to force an actor down his throat when it doesn't fit his script. So I would think that once he gets to writing and he gives them a script, then they're like, okay, we see where you're going here. How about this guy? So it's probably going to be a collaboration after he gets an initial script together. Otherwise, he could get Brad Curran as James Bond, and then Denny writes a script that doesn't fit you know what I mean, and it doesn't work. So I would assume it's going to be a little bit longer before we get a cast, unless Denny already has a script written, and he very well could. He's been dreaming about this for a long time. He could have his script in his safe, and if that's the case, but I would think that Denny would be a major part. But then again, Amazon, he may just do one movie. He may not be a franchise guy. He may be doing the first one, and then another director comes and does the second one. So they may want to see, they might want to collaborate with Denny because he's going to be directing the movie with that actor in it. But they also they might want to look further on. It's like, is this going to be the Bond that we're going to, is this actor good for the next 10 or 15 years? So, but I'm assuming we got a little bit of while before we get to anywhere there. Aaron Taylor Johnson. I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. It could be a complete unknown. It could be a complete unknown. Hello, Clint. Let's see.
People have been pushing for a black Bond or a female Bond.
I don't want to see a female Bond. I want to see a female 00 agent. But once again, you're fundamentally changing what James Bond 007 is. I don't mind a 00 something else. But I don't, and I'm not a chauvinist, but you see what you're doing. You're fundamentally changing what James Bond is. I would not mind seeing a 008 or a 001 and, having them part of Her Majesty's Secret Service. That's fine. But James Bond, I think the only thing really that has to stay the same for James Bond is that A, he's British, and B, he's a guy. If that doesn't mean you can't do the other things, obviously with the 00 system, but James Bond 007, that designation for that mission purpose, I think that they should keep those aspects the same. And I don't think they'll change. Thank you, Larry. I can't. Hold on.
You're talking about Larry right here.
Yeah, hold on.
Shout out to Xenia Onatop.
Who?
That's who
Famke Jensen. Okay, I'm sorry. I almost forgot about her. And
don't forget about her.
Well, she's like 6 feet tall. She hasn't been in anything in like 20 years. Go look up at her last movie.
Her next one is she Secret Wars, or she's denying it, but it's like she's Secret Wars. Come on.
I don't even know what she looks like anymore. I've legit not seen her in 20 years.
She was actually you sat this out, but she was just recently in Boy Kills the World. She was.
I couldn't. That guy's voice. I could not. I couldn't.
Really, of all the reasons.
How am I going to enjoy the movie? That voice irritated me in the trailer.
Tongue in cheek, man.
But it's so irritating. Like, no, dude. I'm like, I would have to like put on headsets and just watch it through subtitles. Guys, I tried this last weekend to set up a stream to YouTube. It wasn't. Something was wrong, and then they were the site that allows you to do that was down. So I had to do. I couldn't do it through StreamYard. The ones. So you members who have been hanging on, I am going to reward you soon. So hang in there. Thank you for being members.
Aaron says martial arts is as health as veggies, and we all need to consume from time to time. Exactly. So, and like I said,
but there's a difference between consuming it from time to time and your obsession with it.
But like I said, it's like Daniel Craig is his Bond's skill set, his physicality. It's again, I liken it to the BBS warehouse fights. Like once you reach that standard with that particular element,
no. There's no standard. You're
going back.
No,
you can't regress from that. You have to meet.
Yes, you can, because you're the whole purpose of a new Bond is that Deni's going to set that standard.
But you can't regret. I'm sorry. You cannot.
He can do whatever he wants to.
You cannot step back from that. We have seen a Bond who is that capable. It's like no. You have to meet that every time. Okay, that's the bar. Sure.
Deni, I think you're probably better at it than we are guessing.
Yeah, he will get this. Trust me, he will understand.
No, not necessarily.
That knife fight stuff in Dune.
Right. All right. Like I said, the obsession with kung fu needs to grow on a different show.
You can't do Batman. You can't do a Batman. You cannot do a Batman fight scene of a lesser caliber than the warehouse.
All of this kung fu shit out of your system.
You cannot do a Batman fight scene of a lesser caliber in the warehouse, and you cannot do Bond fight scenes of lesser caliber than Craig.
What? Because Brad says so?
No, because it's a step back.
No, it's not.
No, it's like Bond. It's like his.
Okay, who decides? Who decides this? You or Deni?
Well, if Deni does it, then he's a dumbass for doing that.
Okay, there you go. That just we're done. Oh yeah, damn! I just totally forgot that one. I'm so used. My entire life there was a queen. My entire time on this planet, there was a queen and not a king. She was queen from 1953 up until she died recently. So damn. And I remember they had to change everything. They had to change the money. They had to change also. Yes, His Majesty's Secret Service, and it's going to be his for a while because even once Charles is not king, his son is going to be His Majesty, and his son after that. So yeah, it's going to be His Majesty's for quite a while now. I got to get used to that. That is so eerie now. I don't want to stream. I want new emojis. Okay. Oh, you know what? I have the perfect I have the perfect emoji. And it's gonna happen too. We're going into I'm gonna add this to the emoji thing. I'm glad you brought that up, Rhea. I have this emoji is gonna be everywhere pretty soon. I mean, everywhere and in my atmosphere. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make this the next emoji. This looks so ridiculous. I get great joy in laughing at this when I see it.
You look like one of those like golden like like cookie teddy bears.
I mean, all I'm missing is the Mad Magazine banner behind it. All I had to do is type in Alfred E. Newman, and it gave me exactly what I was trying to get.
I'm here to see Christopher Robin.
What?
No, really, it's got like that, like those like golden bears. That's what this looks like.
Okay, this creeps me out, and I'm looking at it, and it's me, but it's funny as hell. Yeah, we're gonna make an emoji out of this one.
Well, like like I said, like Droga, he did his his image of William with the Superman suit on, but the problem is it looked like a legit comic book image. It's like it was too good.
Yeah, and this would be the first Bond in his era. Wow, this is so weird. I would like it to be a 60s period piece because that would be awesome.
You're talking about the next Bond?
Yeah, listen. Anything is possible. I could see if like Guy Ritchie was doing it, that would be a 60s piece. I don't see Denis Villeneuve doing it.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be 60s. So. No.
I'm not inside the room, so I don't think there's a high chance of that happening, RJ. But he could come out tomorrow. Listen. We only know what we know. So as we get towards it, given his style and the environments he likes to create, I don't see it. Anything is possible. That would be cool. We were throwing this around before. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a 60 period piece.
Yeah, it's just there's whether you be down for it versus what we think the likelihood of it is, which is like I'd be down for it, but it's like I don't think the likelihood of it is high.
Hey guys, I don't look like Steve Harvey. I don't think I look like Steve Harvey. And I need to be apologizing to Steve Harvey for you guys. I don't think I look like Steve Harvey. I barely look human in this, but there it is. Boy,
this actually does kind of look like it could be like a comic book cover, though.
Yeah, that was the whole. Yeah, and like I said, I'm gonna have. So what's gonna be behind this is exactly what's on the Superman poster that I stole this from. Except it's gonna have the Sci-Fi Center taking the place of the Daily Planet. So it's gonna be all kinds of stuff. I'm gonna have some fun with this. I'm gonna have fun with the Superman stuff. Whether I like the movie or not, I don't know. Maybe not. Who knows? It looks like I might. But who knows?
Brad says eco waste. Eco waste should be the new
what?
Bond.
Who?
The raid dude.
Okay. All right.
Well, again, like I said, that specific aspect of it's like first thing we see Craig do. First thing we see Daniel Craig do is that parkour chase.
All right.
Around.
So
when we've got stunts of that caliber, sorry, you can't go back.
Yes, you can.
You have to meet that.
You know what it would take for them to do. Not even go back. You think it's going back. Denny's not really looking at what you're thinking about. He's going to craft his own world. He has to be allowed to do so.
But it can't be a world with lame
Why?
stunt work.
It can be anything that Denis Villeneuve says it's going to be.
When you get this high with Craig,
but it's not a high for him.
You got to rise to that occasion every
it's
time.
It's not a high for them.
It's a high for everyone who's ever laid eyes on Bond.
Your obsession with Kung Fu is polluting.
Do I need to pull up that parkour chase?
No, you can't because I'm not getting taken off the air right now for that.
I'm going to put it in the chat.
Go ahead. I don't care.
Put it in the chat, and I'm going to tell everybody, okay,
watch
this.
Do you guys understand why I'm trying to... Him and Aaron need to go somewhere with this Kung Fu. They need to take this Kung Fu, and they need to go somewhere. I provided them with a somewhere. But instead of doing that...
together.
Instead of doing that, instead of creating his own Kung Fu world where he can just have Kung Fu gasms for an hour, 2 hours, marathon it. He just wants to bleed it over into show, but there's no place for it. Stop it.
Okay, guys. I just put that parkour.
Yeah, whatever. I'll delete
put that
it later.
in the chat. I put that in the chat, guys. Now, all of you, I want you to watch that, and I want you to come back to the next stream and tell me. And Deni do James Bond action scenes that are not at
stop
that.
It. Can't take this anymore.
You know what else I'm gonna do? I'm gonna. And this we actually do have some. Since I'm putting the where. rewatch it.
You're gonna need like a 6-minute buzzer, aren't we?
I'm putting the warehouse in there, and tell me whoever the Brave and the Bold guy is going to be. Watch that again. Tell me that
Yeah,
if
sure.
anybody will accept fight choreography with Batman that is not to that level. Tell me right now.
Easy. Yes.
No, then you're looking at a Batman bomb. I
Okay, sure.
absolutely
Oh, okay. Now you sound like one of these
1,000%
crazy online guys.
guarantee you will. Yes, eco all the way. Absolutely.
Whoever the fuck that is, true.
Yeah.
This is easy too. Wow, so you guys are throwing me meatballs or softballs today. I don't care that much about kung fu, and I love wrestling. That's it. I don't hate kung fu. I'm not obsessed with it like somebody is. I won't steer clear of a kung fu movie. If there's kung fu in it, I am not going to go see a movie because of kung fu. That's the David. I love professional wrestling. I actually give a shit about professional wrestling. As a genre itself, I don't care about kung fu movies like that. If they're in the movie, great. If they're part of the movie, great. I'm not seeking out kung fu movies. I seek out professional wrestling. It's a preference. That's all. Sorry. What is this? Yes. Okay, you know what? I take a fuck you too. How about that? Jackass. William Hates laughter, comedy, Blade, martial arts, 90s animated. This is not even. This is false. This is false. William Hates laughter. No, I'm laughing at you. No, I'm not. I don't hate comedy. I'm not like I said, just like kung fu. It's just not my genre. Same reason I don't listen to nonstop country music. Not my genre. All right. I have. Hold on for a second.
Well, goes without saying, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can't even believe you typed that. But go back to that. Go back to that falsity that Azteca had up there.
William Hates comedy.
Like I said, I defected. I'm laughing at you. Comedy, not my genre. Blade, no, I don't hate Blade. I would, unlike you guys, I don't try to paint a picture of what Blade is 25, 30 years after it was released.
We spoke about this last night.
Whatever.
There is no possible way what I laid out
I'm gonna ignore
function.
All right. Yeah,
no possible way.
Anyway, we're gonna ignore that nonsense. I don't hate Blade. Listen,
no
I enjoyed
possible way.
I enjoyed Blade when it came out. I enjoyed Blade for what it was. You guys, some of you guys in revisionist history have turned Blade into something that it never was. It was a cool movie in the late 90s, and that's it. Its sequels weren't that good, but we had Blade. You guys are not you guys, all you guys, but as far as the hatred, I don't hate Blade. I just know what it was. I take Blade for what it was, not for what people 25 years from later are trying to transform it in. Like this is some kind of rapture where the comic book genre began. I think that is absolute bullshit. I don't hate Blade, and I don't hate Mahershala Ali as Blade. I'm bringing up the reality. I'm bringing up the reality of the fact that you guys don't want to accept that the guy who makes the decisions, not fanboys, has decided for whatever reasons your fucking opinions don't matter. My opinion don't matter. Brad's opinion doesn't matter. You know whose opinions matter? Kevin Feige. And if Kevin Feige doesn't see Blade in his future right now,
but
I plugged
it in.
So us bottom feeders on our little itty bitty YouTube channel are going to move. We got two YouTube nobodies, and myself included. We're gonna come on, stop it.
I plugged it in for him. Okay,
he
walks in the building.
So here's let me get to this.
Nick Fury, Secret Wars.
Let me get to this. It gets lamer every time you bring it up. So I don't hate Blade. I just understand. Hold on. I gotta finish this because we're gonna be on this forever. I don't hate Blade. I just see it for what it is. And I understand that we have a guy who has been very successful since 2008 in crafting his story. Blade just doesn't fit in it. And when it fits in Kevin Feige's story, in the MCU story, in the Marvel Studios plans, then that's what will happen. Whether that happens at the very next movie or it happens 4 or 5 years from now, no sooner or no later than he decides it goes into it. Until it fits in his story, that's it. And trying to shoehorn it that's what bothers me about it. Is like the whole nostalgia thing, the whole, Kevin Feige right now is the storyteller. Let him tell his story. When it's time for Blade, that's when it'll happen. So no, I don't hate Blade. Martial arts, I don't hate martial arts. I'm just not obsessed with it. I'm not going to follow martial arts to the box office. If I go see a movie and there's martial arts in it, I'll sit there and I'll watch it. But if martial arts in the movie is not a determining factor on whether I see a movie or not. Whereas Brad, that is his genre. It's not mine. 90s animation featuring superheroes. No, only Batman and X-Men. Really, those are the only two that I have an issue with. Superman, Spider-Man, those are fine. The only things, and I've explained ad nauseum of why I don't. So I don't hate 90s animation. I don't hate, but I dislike two particular cartoons because as somebody who follows those IPs and up until they were turned into baby food, I got a problem with the impact and influence that those cartoons had going forward. So that's not a hate. So all this is false. All right, because it would have taken me forever to get through that with you screaming at my.
See, I just plugged it in right here. I just plugged it in the story right here.
Oh my god!
There is literally zero excuse now. I plugged in it. I took the plugged it in. That buzzer. That's for.
So I hope that clarifies. I hope that clarifies things for you, Azteca.
No possible way this doesn't work, and I just plugged it in there for you, Feige. You're welcome.
I don't hate Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think the movies have been stupid. I'm not a big fan of the movies.
Hit miss.
I think the last one was kind of cool.
The animated one.
Yeah, I thought the last one was kind of cool. I've just never been a fan of the movie. I mean, I love Teenage Mutant Turtles. And I don't care what anybody says. In my opinion, is The Last Ronin is the best turtle story ever told.
That's actually probably going to shock you with the subject we were just on. It's like I actually wasn't that into Ninja Turtles growing up. Because I mean, you would think I would be, but it didn't really. Well, it's blending kung fu and superheroes. So you would think that would have pulled me in. You would think that would have pulled me in at a very young age, which is.
I got into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because of Daredevil.
Yeah, because there is for those of you who may not be aware, Ninja Turtles is very heavily influenced by Daredevil.
Foot Clan, all that stuff. Yeah, all that stuff is in there. So yeah, I know as you do. To this day, I love Teenage Mutant. I'm not a big fan of the cartoons, and I'm not a big fan of the early movies. Not that I can't stand them, but I love the IP. You know, and listen, and I don't hate. The reason I don't have this problem with Teenage Mutant Ninja being softened like it was and kind of because Eastman and Laird were never going to make the big money, which was just with what they were doing. And you know what? I'm happy for those guys. I've met those guys. I met Kevin Eastman a couple of times when he's come out here, and he's a very cool dude. So I'm happy.
Rhea says Mikey is her favorite.
Who?
Michelangelo's her favorite Ninja Turtle.
Oh, Michelangelo. You got to say Michelangelo. I'm like, what?
Well, because now because when I was a kid, I mean, they were referred to by their full names. They've since gotten, the Mikey, Raph, Leo, and Donnie nicknames.
See, when I watched them and when I read them in the comics, they usually a lot of times they use their full names. So,
and listen, say what you will about the 2014 one, that elevator scene though, that's like the perfect like Ninja Turtles moment. That elevator scene when they're bopping along with their weapons. That's like the perfect Ninja Turtles moment.
I don't think so, but listen, all film is subjective. There's no wrong answer there. Listen, they can't do. I guess you could try to get away with PG. You can do a lot in PG-13, but if they do it like I read it, like if they decide this is what we want to do, if they want to adapt it, I'm sorry, dude. That the first pages of that. I mean, there's all kinds of shit in there that's gonna get fucked up. But so yeah. No. I love the comics. What are you talking about, dude? I just think The Last Ronin is the best story that they've ever told. I love The Last Ronin. I love The Last Ronin. I get that in. In fact, I talked that right off the shelf the other day. I like the comics. I like the early, especially the early comics. The early comics. There are some other ones that they've done that kind of strayed, but they always come back home. I don't think anybody's against Mahershala Ali playing another version of Blade, but Snipes is the Blade. That's like that's all going to be from whatever point of view you're coming from too. There are going to be people who are of the generation that have never seen Blade. If you were born in 20 or 19, if you were born in 2000, right? And you're 25, wow, you're 25 years old now, there's a good chance that you never saw or cared about that original Blade movie. So this Blade coming up, or the Blade that you saw in Deadpool, if you went to go see that, because not every MCU fan saw that movie. But that may have been the very first time that you saw that Blade, or a Blade, any Blade. And for you, if you grew up in a different era, the Mahershala Ali Blade, whenever it happens, will be your Blade. It's just like the people who watch Star Wars in sequential order. They have a different opinion about episodes 1, 2, and 3 than the older generation of Star Wars fans who, it starts at episode 4 and that's it. If you're watching them from their generation, it's going to be different. So it's going to be the same thing with any of these characters, to be honest with you. Let's see. Yeah, guys, don't get this turning into William hates everything. No, I like what I like. That's pretty much it. But it comes to Teenage Mutant, I don't like the movies are goofy. I thought they were stupid. I'm not a fan of them. I was a fan of the last one that happened, and like I said, I'm going to be, if they keep the tone the way I think they should, then the last run is just going to be. I wonder who's going to direct that.
Go Ninja, go!
Oh fuck, dude, what are we doing here? I'm finding to have to do this more and more with you, Ray, lately. Don't know if I'm okay with that. But yeah, you're flirting with Brad Kool-Aid territory here. The hell.
No, Brad Enlightenment, you mean? Because that's
whatever. No, Brad. Yeah, it's like you're smoking some bad weed, and I'm near. They're near you enough to get the high.
Yeah, I already reconnected with my baby sis through here. Is this possible? Also, there's my cousin now here too.
All right, and that's not supposed to be as creepy as the baby sis stuff. Okay.
Aaron asks, has anyone seen that TMNT live action TV show and the crossover they did with the Power Rangers? I did not. Nope.
I know I know in the comics they cross over because those things sold pretty well. And there's a Batman one I sold out too, I think.
Batman 89 and Ninja Turtles 1990 VHS. Yeah. I'd imagine.
I never watched 99. I saw 1990 in the movie and I'm like, this is a fucking joke. But that's just my opinion. Once again, guys, my opinion is not an edict. You don't have to. Don't be coming at me. No, it's my opinion. You're not a piece of shit for having a different opinion than me. So don't come at me with the dukes up. Wait, come at me. That is how I feel about some of these movies. But if you enjoy them, that is part of life. You enjoy them. That's it. Movies are about the 3 M's: money, memory, moment. Those type of things, and those all belong to you. And just like mine belong to me. Batman 89, I don't watch as much anymore because I watched it a lot when I was 14, 15 years old. I've memorized the movie and I don't have any real reason to rewatch it again. If I never see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990 again, that's not long enough. And I actually have Batman 89 on VHS at the start too. Okay, this is. You guys are like listing the reasons why this movie makes the vomit rise through my esophagus. Get the picture. Yeah. Like I said, this is for anybody. Listen, somebody gives an opinion about a movie. That's their opinion. There's no wrong or right about how somebody feels about an IP or a movie. I feel I had fun with Titans. I know this show's a train wreck. But it entertained me. I had fun with it. If you don't like Titans, that doesn't invalidate my opinion about it, or doesn't make you, some jackass. Or you listen. You don't like it. You don't like it. That's fine. That's why there's other movies around there. There's movies that I watch. Listen, I had people tell me that Blade Runner 2049 is the most boring movie they ever saw. You know, I have a list of movies I can show them that will become the most boring movie. You want me to bore the eyeballs out of your skull? I'll sit you in front of 2001: Space Odyssey. You know, you want me to bore you with something? Hell, I might sit you in front of Batman Begins. That's my opinion of a boring movie. Somebody might find 2001 as an epic. You know, I can't watch that movie all the way through anymore. And all the respect to rest in peace Stanley Kubrick, but I never really connected with his movies. Clockwork Orange was it, and even then, that takes a lot to get to. So it's all subjective. Movies are subjective. It's how they make you feel. See, that's what I think when it comes down to this whole Superman thing.
And by the way, I told William earlier I have officially muted the terms.
Yeah, you're gonna fail so bad in that. I applaud your effort. I applaud your effort. I applaud your effort, but you have no chance.
I muted Superman. I muted James Gunn. I muted DCU. I muted Henry Cavill. I muted Ultraman. You have no chance of, if there's a spoiler out there, trust me, it's like the cordyceps off of Last of Us. It's gonna get to you, and you're not gonna be Ellie. Well, so
give it a try. Give it a try. Give it a try.
But you're seeing at the time you are.
I'm sitting on the 7th, so yeah.
So I can. That means I can because I'm going to pick William's brain, and I am going to.
If you can wait till the 7th, then we're good. When it comes to Superman, guys, any movie, if 1% of you is going to see a movie and rooting for a movie to stick it to a fan base one way or the other, either rooting for it to succeed or rooting for it to fail so that you can have bragging rights and stick it to any particular fan base, I have nothing but sympathy for you. I have nothing but sorrow.
I have nothing but pity for you.
I have nothing but just, I hope things get better for you. That's all I can say. I hope something in your life positive happens and that becomes your North Star, your guiding light, because under no fucking circumstances should sticking it to any fan base be a reason why you go to the movies, in my opinion. And if it is, then I don't do a lot of praying, not a very religious guy, but I'm going to pray for you because that's an absolutely fucking abysmal reason to do anything, especially if it's entertainment. I see a lot of stuff when I unmuted Superman for a little bit and I just to check on, just to see some of the ad things that were rolling on Twitter and just some of the stuff I saw. July 11th can't come fast enough so I can show these Snyder fans. I'm like, that's why you're going to a movie? I have nothing but pity for you. And then the other ones, this movie's going to bomb. James Gunn doesn't know what he's doing. I have nothing. I have as much pity for you as I do when I see a homeless guy out here in the desert and I give him some water. That's how I feel about you right now. And that's not because I hate you, but I've seen this and I'm like, I go to movies because I want to have a good time. Is that a foreign concept to go see a movie to have a good time? I go to a sporting event to root for sides. That's literally a part of what you do. I don't go to a movie. There is no end zone at AMC Town Square. Right? There is no hoop at any of the movie theaters that I'm in, unless it's on the screen. This is not a competition. This is not a sport. And I urge people, if you're going to spend the time of your day, your life, going to a movie, enjoy the movie. These fandoms have nothing to do with your 3Ms. And I'm going to be so happy to get past July 11th so that we can start having conversations about the movie and not, where did this fandom hurt you? Point to me on the doll. I give a fuck. I think that's just adding sewage to the ocean. And it's as much as part of it. People say toxic fandom. That's what that is. So that's why I muted Superman. I don't care. Listen, you can spoil it for me. It doesn't matter. I could know everything that's happening in Superman and still go see it. It's how you execute it, not whether it surprises me or not. So that's just me personally. But I muted Superman. I muted all the stuff. Hell, I even muted crypto for a little bit. Just utterly ridiculous. So that I didn't see these things coming on my feed, especially with people who I know and have common people with, bringing up just the most asinine post from some other person saying, see what they're doing here? I don't need to see that. So I muted it. But I'm worried about you guys. You're gonna spend your money. You're gonna go to a movie and it's not gonna be because you're enjoying the movie, because you're sticking it to somebody. You're sticking it to gun nuts. You're sticking it to Snyder fans. I can't think of a worse waste of time than that. But hey, Fantastic Four in theaters July 2025. I can't wait to get to the Fantastic Four conversation because the Superman one is too hard to find common sense ones. So it's going to stay muted for me, not because of spoilers, but because of the conversation being had. I get a couple of them in there and I want to interact, and I'm like, and then I see it. It's like, shit, got to get out of here. So yeah. So guys, I mean, be better in my opinion. All right.
Well, RJ says he loves to play Hoops the Movie Theater, though. Yes, I mean they should probably. Well, yeah, should probably add like a bit, where they have the arcade, they should have like a.
That can guarantee get the damn movie started on time. No, we don't need anything else in the movie theater. I don't know. I've heard that a lot when it comes to movies that have these type of trailers, and then I go see the movie, and I'm like, now some movies, the best parts are in the trailers, the bad ones, right? It was like, oh, dude, the best parts are there. I'll give you an example to where that wasn't necessarily the case. Ballerina. The shit that they showed you in the trailer for Ballerina.
They showed you like it to be like a grain of salt in the ocean.
Yeah, and when you go see that movie, you're like, oh wow, okay. So yeah, I see some movies that do that. I think whatever they're showing us in this marketing, there's like 90% more that we haven't seen. There's probably going to be some surprises in this movie, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. So. All right. I'll be deleting this. No, I'm just kidding. No. What you did? Hey, listen, guys. You're gonna make me ban turtles? You're gonna make me ban something I like?
Yeah. What if Crypto was a turtle in this movie that's coming up? Would you ban turtles?
I'm not even gonna answer.
People love turtles. People love turtles.
I think the best way to handle you is not to feed into your silliness and nonsense. Because it's like you're like a Pez dispenser of bad humor sometimes. Like you're literally like the dad joke that is at the party, at the kids' party, and like, hey kids, you're a captive audience because you're all here. Let me let loose on some of my dad jokes.
I mean, it's like some would call it dad humor, right? Others call it enlightened humor.
To those people. All right, I think we've exhausted the goodwill.
They gave Isaac Newton the buzzer too when he discovered gravity. I'm just saying.
Okay, you want to be? Never mind. All right, that's it. Anybody got anything else? We've been on air for too long. I covered. We really covered the thumbnail. Obviously, there's only two things in the thumbnail, but two things I'm super excited about. That's what I want the Sci-Fi Center Presents to be, is things I'm excited about. That's it. I don't give a fuck about you guys. No, I'm just kidding. We talk about other stuff here, but can you see the mood, how happy I am when we're talking about things I'm like truly enjoy, and then the other stuff we just have to get through? That's the difference between this channel and a news channel. A news channel has to tell you all that stuff because it's a news. There's scoops and they're doing all that stuff. Okay, if I don't care about it, we don't have to talk about it. And I'll just deal. If two people a night want to watch the show, 49 across all social media that we have right now watching. Thank you. Like, subscribe, join up. But yeah, I'm gonna keep my blood pressure down and only talk about things that make me happy. I think that's a good way to go. Have I done any Dragons movies? No, I have not. That's actually a pretty good idea. There's not too many Dragon movies, so I mean, utterly, we're gonna have to talk about ones I haven't seen. I think there's two obviously big ones that I haven't seen, like How to Train Your Dragon. I haven't seen those. Dragon Slayer. I mean, there's only like this. I think there's only like 5 or 6 dragons. I have to look that up. That's gonna be a short show. Rain of Fire is definitely one of the up there. And Dragon Slayer, Rain of Fire. How many actual ones up there? Dragonheart. Okay, I have to look that up. That's a good. I mean, that's a thinking man's topic. Thanks for bringing that up. All right, guys. All joking aside, take none of what was said tonight seriously, other than the breakdown of the trailer.
Well, another the fact that you can't do Bond or Batman fight scenes lesser than Craig and
Case in point. Case in point.
You can't. Once you it comes to fight actions, like once you reach that standard, you have to maintain that standard.
Hey, your sign to not take this show seriously is your first clue.
Well, it's revoked in that.
There he is. There he is. When you see this symbol on your screen, we're not, or this one for that matter. Then or anybody that would do, this. Do not take this show seriously. Do not fucking take this show serious. Don't be leaving the show and don't be typing at your keys like this guy. Fuck this guy. I'll show him. We're not talking about nuclear physics. We're not talking about war. We're not talking about any of these things. We're talking about mostly non-existent shit that we should be able to have fun about without getting crazy. So, for you brand new listeners, don't take the show seriously. I don't take myself seriously. I told other people the day I start taking myself seriously in that regard, I will delete the channel. It's not that big a deal. So even with Brad's bad jokes. All right. So please like, subscribe. I don't know what's tomorrow, Thursday. Don't know what we're going to be talking about Thursday, but that definitely be something. We might do the Dragon stream. And then is there another one
there's a couple of them. There's that one article I shared with you, and there's something Aaron tagged me in, and also those kind of AI related. I thought it kind of interesting to break down next time. So, yeah, Aaron, yes, I saw you tagged me in that, so I just been meaning to bring that up.
Did she tag me too?
I think she might have. Yeah, I'll find that.
Sorry, guys, I ignore a lot of tags. That get tagged in some of the most inane shit, and I don't want to be. It's really easy on social media to get drawn into things that you're trying to avoid. I mean, you can mute something. Somebody will tag me in something, and then I click on it. I muted like half the people in it. So it's like the person who did this tweet has been muted by you, and I'm like, oh, geez, maybe I need to go out there. But we'll take a look at that. What will YouTube channels focus on? Oh, they're going to be okay. Depending on what kind of conversation, this channel will focus on it, but I'm going to have a conversation based on the movie I saw and not this war that I no longer feel like fighting. I'm going to have a conversation on what the movie is and what it means. So we'll still can talk about it. It'll be a lot easier to talk about it post June or post July 11th, and then once Fantastic Four is out, and then a lot of the attention fans we'll go over to that, and it'll be a lot easier. But other channels, unfortunately, are going to be talking about how much they hate James Gunn and how much they want the movie to bomb. Other channels are going to be taking shots at Snyder fans, and there's going to be a lot of that. But there are going to be some out there that are going to be talking about the movie, that are going to be talking about the content of the movie and what it means for the DCU, what it means for DC in general. My advice is, if you want that type of conversation, I'm going to do my best to provide that type of conversation here. And I know other streamers will. There are other streamers whose shows don't necessarily gravitate around controversy and all that stuff. They just want to talk about the movie. So this channel will be talking Superman, within the context of the movie. Or out of the discussion spirit, should I say. Like I said, just the ones I named. The ones, it's gonna be up. It's gonna be up to the viewer, the YouTube viewer, to pick the kind of conversation they want to be a part of. I am choosing the kind of conversation I want to have, so it's gonna be up to the individual viewer to pick the kind of conversation. If you want a conversation where there's a panel of people screaming and hollering about things, then that's there's plenty of them out there for you. If you want a one where people are just going to nitpick every molecule of any particular movie and destroy it, there's plenty of them out there for you. But if you want to have a conversation about the pros and cons of the movie, what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, then I'm going to do my best to have that conversation here. And I know other quality YouTubers are going to do the same. So this is where you, the viewer, have the most power in driving the kind of conversation that you want to be part of. If you don't want chaos, then don't go. You don't have to go seek chaos. You can go to places. It doesn't necessarily have to be me, but choose your conversations wisely. Right? All right, that's it. Like, subscribe, share, and we will see you later on this evening.
All right, see you guys.